Hello friends, it's Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone's doing great and thanks for joining me today. It's Saturday, so I'm working on my scraps like I have been every Saturday since probably the beginning of April. I'm just challenging myself to try to use everything in my scrap box. I'm just trying to grab it here and show you. I am making progress, but there's still a lot in here. And I'm just really only working on it every Saturday because during the week I'm working on my journals and things like that. So also I wanted to show you. So this is going to be like a little craft with me, but I'll show you what I'm working on here with scraps. But I also was working on just having a fun craft day. Really, it's Saturday, so I'm off work, and so taking advantage of whatever time I have at home. I haven't been, working at home or anything. I'm still going to work every day, so I haven't had any extra time. But I try to make the most of my time when I am at home. So today I was having fun dyeing book pages. So last week I mentioned I was trying to think of ways to use my book pages, and I have two new listings. I think I mentioned in my shop, my Etsy shop, for naturally aged book pages and coffee dyed book pages. So I have those two listings now, and I did a lot of coffee dyeing last week of book pages. So that was fun, and I've got quite a few in stock now for my shop, in case I get an order. But today I was thinking, or was it last night? I don't know, somewhere between yesterday and today, I thought, why don't I, because I do different colors of paper, like regular copy paper and composition book paper. I dye those green. Usually I do green, blue, and pink. So I said, why don't I dye some book pages? So that's what I did, and they came out really pretty. I did it today, this morning I started, and I've been waiting for them to dry. So they are dry at this point. So I'm really happy with the colors, and I think it would be fun to use these in a, however you wanted to use them in a journal, like as a page, or to even use in collages. But here is the green ones. Very pretty. I want to do another batch, but this is my first batch today. And then, let's see, some of these are upside down, but here's the blue. And you can see these got, it was really weird. I don't know how they got pink on them. But there's a little pink hue on some of these because I tried to keep the colors totally separate. Like I had them all on my kitchen counter, but I did the greens first. So they're like this. And then I left a big space in between the green and the pink. And then I did the pink, laid those out to dry, colored those and laid those out to dry. And then I did, because I cleaned the space in between the two colors, and I took these over on another counter and did the blue, put the blue on them. And after I had cleaned that space in between where these were drying, those two colors, then I put these down after I cleaned the space, and they still look like they have a pink hue. So I don't know, these are blue with a pink hue for somehow, but I think they're really pretty. I mean, look at this. They're kind of opalescent or something. Really neat. I was already thinking about doing a rainbow of colors, like mixing the pink and blue, and not necessarily marbling, but just kind of a rainbow type of thing. So this kind of came out almost like a rainbow, but not really. So it was just, I'm very happy with how they came out, and it was very fun to experiment with these colors. So I'm going to do a listing for these in my shop too, just a variety, not separate colors, but just a variety listing of assorted colors like this. So anyway, that's enough of that, but just super fun on those. So I was working with my scraps today in a couple different ways, and I was so happy with how my scraps came out last week, where I did just a collage of scraps on some scrap cardstock, and then I cut them into tags. And I still have some more of these little thank yous that I cut out. I had just typed, if you're new to my channel, you didn't see the video last week, I typed the word thank you on cardstock. This is like craft cardstock, you know, over and over, you know, some lines. And then I took my little punch, this little like label punch, and I punched them out. So I have a bunch of those. I need to make some more because this is all I have left. But the tags I made last week came out so cute, which I showed in a video, I think Monday or something like that, Sunday or Monday of this past week. And they made like, what I made was some cute little scrappy, you know, thank you tags, which I needed for my Etsy shop. So I want to make some more because I used a couple of them this week, and you know, they're going to be gone before I know it. So, but today I was working with, I had also thought about using some of my fabric scraps. So I took some of my cardstock, this is file folder, from my scrap box beside me that I just showed you, and took some of my fabric scraps. And these are scraps. I have a big pile, I already put them away for today because I'm not going to sew any more of these today, but have a big pile of scraps of fabric that I used from making face masks. And I've been making, let's see, do I have one here? I do have one. Well, no, I don't have one here. But I've been making paper clips, decorating paper clips with some of the strips. Like here's some more strips I just made from these, you know, that I'm going to put on paper clips. So I kind of use those right away so I don't have a big pile of strips. But I do have some from the face mask that I still, like wider strips that I need to cut into thinner strips. But, so I'm using scraps like this, thinner strips, to make paper clips. And the bigger scraps today, I decided to try making some tags with fabric. I haven't done that before, really. And I have been wanting to do that. And in fact, I wrote it down in my little idea book, which I whenever I have an idea, or, you know, it's not necessarily my idea, it's just you know, I see something like on YouTube or whatever that somebody's doing and I want to remember to do it, I write it down. And that was one of the things, something like that I wrote down, that I wanted to make some fabric over cardstock tags and sew it on. So that's what this is. I made it. This is a big tag, and this was actually a scrap from the journal I'm working on. If you saw my design team project that I'm working on, this was a scrap from the trim. So that was sitting here, and so I used it as the trim on here. And then here's a little journaling card. This is another scrap from that trim. So I had sewed this together as a journaling card and then put a little scrap as a little, you know, tab there. This is a scrap I made some DC Comics face masks, which I still have some in my shop. But anyway, this is a scrap from that fabric, and I wanted to see what that looked like as a tag. So there you go, you got the Supergirl there. So this is another one with I made a lot of my tags out of, I had picked up a bunch of bandanas at a thrift store, and they were new, you know, they were new, but they were in a thrift store. So I had picked them up a while ago, and you know, when I pick up fabric, I never really have a plan for it. I just like it and say I'm going to use it for something one day. And then this face mask thing came along, and I used every single bandana I had, and I had picked up quite a few, so I used all my bandanas. So these are the scraps. There's a purple one, and I sewed some. That's another strip from the trim from my design team project trim right there, and then a little label I just sewed on there. This is some more DC Comics fabric, and you can see some more. Isn't that cute? Some more of the bandana fabric here. And then this is a tag with, I have a bag of scraps and trims and things. So I looked in my trim for strings, and this was in there, so I put that on there. And this is another strip from the trim from my design team project. So everything, you know, every scrap came in handy. You know, the cardstock, the fabric, the trims, just all of that. So I have a couple little, I wanted to try a little experiment here because I want to see how these would glue down on some of this fabric. I want to see if I could glue a little label on here, like this black one, or this is either black or dark blue. I think it's navy blue, but I still wanted to put it right here. And I wanted to use some fabric tack and see how that would glue down. So this is just kind of a scrappy little craft with me idea experiment session here today. And I've just been experimenting and having fun. So let me see. I wanted to just see how these or actually they're labels. I call them labels. Will glue down. I've got to get my Fabri-Tac going here. And I want to see how they'll glue down on this fabric. And I would think that Fabri-Tac would do the trick. So let's try it. So I hope everyone's having a good day and a great weekend. Every Saturday, since I started this little scrappy series of videos, I have been giving you my Walmart report because I go to Saturday morning. I usually run by the post office and go by Walmart and get my groceries. So I did that today, and I was very surprised today at Walmart because it's been rather subdued as everyone's not going out that much, you know, and staying at home. So it's been kind of, you know, there have been people there every week at Walmart, but not a lot. Like, there's been people, but not a lot, not the normal amount, I guess I would say. But still, you know, I mean, I live in a small town, so it's probably not a lot compared to other, like, bigger towns and stuff. It would be, even when it's crowded, it's not like, you know, a bigger town would be. Like, I know Walmart's in Greensboro. I would refer to them as more zooish. And that I describe them as a zoo, you know. It's like so crowded and crazy and people everywhere in the lines, and, you know, it's like a zoo. So that's not, you know, derogatory or anything. It's just crowded, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But here in my small town, even when there's a lot of people there, it's not like that, you know what I mean? It's not a zoo. So that turned out rather well, don't you think? So anyway, let's try another one. This is a blank. Let's see, I've got a couple here. This is a book page. Let's try a book page on one. Oh, that would be pretty. That would be pretty. Let's see this one. I want to see which one is shaped. This one has word text on it. I like the blank one, actually. So anyway, today it was actually crowded at my Walmart. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it's kind of like people were in downtown. My little downtown here, my little town it's been empty. Like, usually there's cars there when things are open and it's bustling and people are just doing things downtown, you know, going to the little shops, and there's a coffee shop and the little restaurants and stuff. It's just one of those little quaint downtowns, and it's been just empty all during the last, I guess, 6 or so weeks, right? And then today I went and it was bustling. I was like, it was actually very, it made me very happy to see things getting back to normal. It wasn't like, usually every parking spot is taken. Like, it's one of those downtowns where you have the street of all the shops. When you drive through, it's got, part of it has there's trees on either side that come over and kind of almost meet in the middle. It's really pretty little downtown area. And let's see, and parking is just, one side is parallel parking and the other side is just little angled parking in front of the store. So it's just one of those little downtowns. And anyway, it was empty. And usually every spot is taken. It's hard to get a spot there because, you know, it's just a street. It's not like parking lots or anything. So today there was a lot of cars and it was really good to see. Just made me happy to see people out and having, you know, some type of normalcy. So, okay, so we got a label here. I'm talking too much and not crafting, right? So we've got a label here. I'm sorry. And I lost my other label, and that one I sewed on. And then the other one, this one glued on. So both of these were glued on with Fabri-Tac. This one needs one, maybe. But anyway, I wanted to show you and share that with you. And just as an idea of things to do with your fabric and your cardstock, and maybe some little strips of whatever fabric and things like, yarn and things like that you have in your stash. And I've got quite a few little journaling cards and tags here now for my stash and my journals, so that's always good. And then I pulled out, this is a piece that I started and used some of it actually, but I need to fill this up. And I was going to actually show you one more thing. Let me put the lid on here and grab the other thing. I'll show you another idea that I've been working on. I don't know, it's kind of weird looking, so be prepared. But I've been kind of just, you know, I don't know, I might like hate it when it's done, but I've just been gluing down all my little pieces of fabric. I know it looks really bad right now, but I've just been taking all my little pieces of fabric. These are all little pieces of fabric. This is not one big piece. This is all little pieces of fabric. And just gluing them on. This is just some old cardstock. And just gluing them down. And I'm going to just possibly fill all of this up and then see what it looks like when it's done. So that's just, I mean, these are little pieces that I would normally throw in the trash. I mean, see how little all these pieces are? Really tiny. Just cut off little tiny pieces. So normally those would go in the trash, but instead of throwing them in the trash, I glued them all down onto this cardstock. So I'll probably keep doing that unless I really hate it, but start hating it and just end up throwing it in the trash. But that's another thing I'm doing with the little teeny tiny scraps that normally go in the trash. And then I pulled these little strips out from my, they're all little colors, from my scrap box just now, so I could, you know, do a little crafting with you. So, yeah, so let's do that while we're here together today, and maybe you want to do some crafting with your scraps. But I want to do this one. I want to do the colors, and then I've done this before, like last September when I caught up with my scraps last year. I did the colors, but I also did like this right here is a neutral color. So I did a separate neutrals page. So I'm going to use some more colors because I'm going to make some more of those thank you tags for my shop. And then let me get this in here and get this going. And then I want to work on the neutrals too, because those come out really pretty if you have just all different shades of neutrals. If you've never done that before, those come out really pretty. And then you can make things with your neutrals also, just like you do with your colors. I mean, you can always mix your colors and your neutrals, but it just since I did that last year, I saw how pretty they came out, and I want to do that again with my neutrals. So, and usually I just somehow kind of just gravitate toward my colors, and I ended up using those up first anyway. And then when I need a color, I go look and I have all neutrals left. So I need to, maybe next Saturday, that's what we'll do. We'll do neutrals. So, anyway, I heard people talking this week about going back to work and stuff. So if you're going back to work, you know, I hope everything works out. Because I haven't had that where I've been home and, you know, not, you know, had the chance to, like people were talking about, we're used to sleeping late and, or, you know, not having to go anywhere and just working at home, or like some people I know, I heard talking, were saying they kind of like at their job, they were taking shifts instead of everybody coming in every day. They were kind of like half of them would come in one day and half of them would come in the next day. So, you know, they're still getting their pay for working full time, but they only came in like every other day. And on the days that they did come in, they only worked, their hours were 8 a.m. to 1. So not only were they working every other day, they were only working like half a day. So they're like, oh, they were just saying, oh, it's going to be so hard to, you know, get up every day, get dressed, and, you know, be here all day. So anyway, if you're, you know, going back to work, so I hope everything gets back to normal smoothly for you. And hope everyone's doing good and Hope nobody really had to get sick or anything during this time. Fortunate, I feel very fortunate. No one in my family right here, like my boys or, you know, daughter-in-law or husband or any of my son's friends that live right here close by that we see a lot, have gotten sick. So very blessed, and I feel like I live in a small town, like I said, so now I feel very blessed. I mean, I liked living here before, but now I even like living here even more because there were cases here, but not very many compared to bigger towns, you know. So just another pro of living in a small town there, I guess. yeah. So yeah, I live in a small country town here, so, and then I drive to work in a bigger town nearby, so, which is not very far, but it's worth, I like living out here in the country. And so, like, my house is, we moved to the country so we could have chickens and goats. And so I got to, you know, we moved here when, well, moved to this house. We have goats, and my oldest son was graduating from high school, but my youngest son was, let's see, he was just going into high school. Well, he was going into middle school, actually. He was just going into middle school. So he went to middle school and high school here. And my son, there's a college, the community college is right nearby. This is the county seat of my county, so the community college is right here, and so is like all the government buildings. So even though it's a small town and there's like really nothing here except there is the government building, so I mean, there is something here at least, right? And then the towns around us, if we want to go to a restaurant or something, or wherever, anywhere, if we want to go anywhere, we go to the little towns around us where things are. I think I've talked about that before, that things aren't too far away, but there's nothing right here in our town as far as there's one, let's see, there's two restaurants. No, there's two restaurants right here in this exact town where I live. One's just open for lunch and breakfast, and the other one is just open for dinner. It's a pizza place. So it's just, you know, well, lunch and dinner, I guess it would be. So anyway, and then the only stores we have are Family Dollar and Dollar General right here. But I really don't even go to them. I go if I need to go to the store, I go on my way home from work, you know, or, you know, on my lunch break. When stores were open, I would go on my lunch break. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, so we just about have this filled up. It does take a little bit to get all these strips glued down, and I have used glue stick in the past, and I have a good glue stick here, but I like to use a little bit of this art glitter glue just to make sure everything's going to stay down, you know. I mean, like the Craft Bond would probably stay down decently. The other just regular, let's see, what is it? You know, washable school glue, that I had to go back. It stayed down okay, but I had to go back and sew it just to make sure. I was afraid it was going to come up. Let's see, this is a dark piece. This looks like a good piece to put right down there in that little spot. Let's see, get a big enough piece to cover the whole spot there. I've got, I think I still have allergies going, but it's not like it was. But still have a little bit of allergies going, but I'm not taking allergy pills or anything, just dealing with it. But it's a nice sunny day today outside, besides the hustle and bustle of the downtown in Walmart. It's a nice sunny day. It was a cool this morning. but I didn't need a jacket, and it warmed up. I thought it was going to rain all day or something. I don't know why I thought that, but anyway, it's super sunny out there, so it's really nice. Really nice. Okay, so I need another color here, I think. Something different. And I'm not, like I said last week, I am not trying to match anything here. I just am taking different colors and gluing them down, and then cutting up the piece into tags and journaling cards. And it was, I mean, if you haven't done this before, you'll be amazed at how cool it comes out. Because, you know, like when it's like this, it doesn't look like anything, right? But when you cut it up, you get it cut up into journaling cards, it looks so cool. And we're going to do that right now too, to this one. And then maybe I'll do the rest. I don't know. We'll see what time it is and whether I do any more. Oh, what is this? This is a little piece from my, oh, this is my, I've got my design team project right here in front of me too. So that's from that. So let's cut this up. I want to make sure it's kind of like getting glued down so it doesn't like try to pop off or anything. But let's see here. Okay, I want to cut it into even, I want to cut it so that it doesn't, you know, I don't have too small of a piece here. That could be, let's see, let's make a piece about that big, and then this piece will be bigger, I think, unless I can get 3 pieces out of here. You see, if I cut it into 3, it's going to be too narrow, I think. Let me measure. Of course, I don't have a ruler right here, but let me, oh yeah, I do have a ruler right here. Okay, it's hiding over there. Okay, well, let's see. So it's 7 inches. So if I do 2 inches, 2 inches, and 2, or 2, let's see, 1, 2. I can do 1, 2.5, and then I'm just trying to, I don't want to cut, I don't want to waste any of this. I want to use every piece. So 1, 2.5 inches, 1, 2 inches, and then I'll have another 2 inch. Okay, so one's going to be cut, first one's going to be cut right here. Because I don't want to have any scraps from this, you know what I mean, that I have to throw away. You know, not cool to waste my pretty collage here, right? So let's see if we can get this cut. Yeah, it's separated. There we go. There's 1. And this was going to be 2.5 inches, so it's going to be right about here, right in the middle. And then we'll cut them into tag shapes and punch some holes and put some thank yous on there. Is it separated? Yes. Okay, cool. All right. See, I was thinking that would be too narrow, but they're fine. Okay, so let's put this out of the way. Let me put my, you know how glitter glue is. Dries so fast, and it dries up in your lid too, you know, so fast too. So there we go. Okay, so let's see. So we can always like turn it around if we wanted to. But I think I'm going to leave it like that and just cut 2 little angle pieces here. Okay. And then this one. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn this one the other way. Variety. Plus I have this big piece on the bottom here, so it's kind of like the foundation. I feel like a big piece on the bottom is like a foundation of your tag or a journaling card. See how it looks like? That's my foundation. This one didn't have one big piece anywhere. Well, this one does, so we'll turn that one around too. Let it have a foundation. Okay, cute. All right, I'd like to get all my little pieces here cleaned up. Okay. Now let's punch a hole. Let's punch some holes. I've got my crocodile right here behind me. Let's see how it looks with the holes punched. Yes, I thought I had mentioned that my crocodile leaves like a hanging chad when I punch a hole, and I thought, well, that's how they are. It's normal. But then one of my subbies, my friend Donna, I think it was Donna, I think it was you, Donna, if you're watching, I said that no, that is not normal. I don't know if it was Donna or not, but oh, that one, see, that one did better. I'm trying to figure out how not to do that, but it usually, maybe I'm not pressing hard enough or fast enough. That's what I've been trying to do, kind of experiment with it and see what I'm doing wrong. See if it's me or the punch. So let's try it again. Oh, okay, so I pressed hard and fast, one swift punch, and the last two didn't do it, so maybe it's me. I don't know. Anyway, since she told me that wasn't normal, I was like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? Is it me or the punch? So that's what I'm going to try to do, is punch harder and faster, like one swift punch. In case you are having that problem with yours, maybe, you know, try that. Okay, so let's put some thank yous on here. So what I've been doing is putting thank yous on here and a little string of some kind, and just using these as my thank you cards, because some of the things I mail out are in small packages, and I said last week, I can't fit a big card in there. So I was like, well, I need to make some smaller cards or something, and I thought these scrappy tags would be just perfect for little cards, and then I can write on the back a little note, you know. So these I'm going to glue on with some of my art glitter glue, and then these will be ready to go. I'll have 3 more here, and I think I made about, what did I make last week, like 6 or something, and I only have like 2 left, 2 or 3. I think I put one of my journals that I mailed, the red cookbook journal I had shown this past week that sold, and it's off to Hong Kong. Isn't that cool? Somebody ordered it from Hong Kong. I have never sent anything to Hong Kong before, so if my Hong Kong friend is watching, thank you so much. That was so cool to get an order from Hong Kong. But yeah, I don't know, you know, too much about her, but I have a new friend in Hong Kong, so that's awesome. So anyway, yeah, I put one of the scrappy tags in there, and the other cookbook journal sold too, so I would like to make some more of those, but it's like you want to make more of like something that you love to do, like that cookbook journal, but I also have another idea in my head that it would solve a problem that I have, that is the books that my son brought home. If you saw that video where, was it 2 videos I showed, where on 2 of my Thrifty Tuesday videos, where my son brought me 2 boxes of goodies from an attic, from someone's house. Those books, I've sold 2 of them. The 2 Julia Child books went to a new home and will be loved in their new home. I know someone bought them that's going to love them. And then the typewriter book I have in my shop, and the shorthand book. Those were, I wanted to keep those kind of, but I just can't keep everything. You know, I just can't keep everything. I don't want to be a hoarder, and I don't want to I don't like clutter, so I have to sell things that I bring home, even though I love them. Okay, so here we go. So cute. Now see what I was talking about with, you have that piece that you collage, and it doesn't look like much, but when you cut them apart and you do something with them, aren't they cute? I mean, they just all of a sudden become so adorable. And I don't even have a string on here yet. Let me see. Now I have these strings I was going to make into paper clips. But let's see if we can use a couple of these, because I don't have anything else here right now out. So let's see, red would go with any of these. So let's see, green. Here's some green right there. I mean, green would go with any of them. There's some green right there. So let's use the green one on that one. Oh, this is green one too. So we can use this green one on that one. This will be a paper clip, and this will be right here. So see, you can just use all your scraps, your fabric, your cardstock, your colored, you know, paper cardstock and your neutral, which we're going to use next week. I just wanted to do some more of these because I needed some more, and those were so cute. Last week I just was like, I know I want to do some more of those. Even though it's not something different, it's just fun and cute. And I have more of those scraps, more scraps to use up, so why not? There we go. Cute little string on this end there on the top. Okay, now even though this one's just kind of all crooked and stuff, you don't have to cut it even. I'm just going to put it in there like this, and you'll see it still looks cute, even though it's just a really scraggly little scrap here. It doesn't matter. It's a handmade, scrappy in every way, except for this thank you piece. Scrappy in every way. So you have that. See how it looks now? It's like, it doesn't even look scrappy anymore. It just looks pretty. And this kind of all scrappiness is a nice contrast to a little tailored label, thank you label there. So really neat. And then here's another little strip that I'm using. And this one. So, you know, I try to think of things I would, you know, if I got this as a thank you card in my Etsy order, I would love it. You know what I mean? I would just love it. So that's what I try to think of when I do things for my Etsy orders. I just think, oh man, I would love this if I got this. If I, you know, when I wrap them up, I would try to wrap them up nice and put little bows and things like a gift. I wrap them up like a gift is what I'm thinking of. And so I think if I got an Etsy order like that, I would love my Etsy order to come to me looking like a pretty gift with a pretty scrappy tag with it. So just fun, right? I mean, I always say to myself, I want to make it very Etsy-ish. There's something about Etsy that is different, you know, than eBay. If you order something from eBay, you don't expect anything. You don't expect anything special. At least I don't. But if you order something from Etsy, it's, I don't know, it just seems like I would expect something more special. So anyway, that's what I try to do, is make something a little, make the order special in some way. Even if it's not a journal, I stick one of my paper clips in there at least, so they have something besides just a thing. Like say, let me try to give you an example. Like I have these little stainless steel pins in my shop, and if they just order pins, like, oh, you're just getting pins, what can I do with that? Well, I can stick a little paper clip in there. At least I have something handmade, you know, from me. And if I stick one of these, they have two things handmade from me. So I don't know, I just like to make them just besides what people order, make them fun, make it, you know, put something in there that's handmade or fun type of thing. So let me see, I have these, but I think the time might be pretty much up for today. I don't want to keep y'all, but so this is what we did today. Let me show you all of these tags now I have ready for my stash. So cool to add to my, you know, stash here for when I want to go grab something for my journals, and I can use these for, like, I can put some of these thank you cards on here too. I mean, wouldn't that be cute? I mean, wouldn't you like to get that as with a little note, thank you note from somebody on Etsy? So I'm going to probably go ahead and glue these on here, some of these too, and I'll have a few more ready to go. And the rest will just be for my journals. And so I'll be back with you next Saturday with another scrappy video, trying to use up my scraps. And I want to work on neutrals next week. I'm also, during the week this week, well, today and tomorrow, I'm going to see what I can do with my design team project, which I have right here in case you hadn't seen it. I think it was my last video, wasn't it? So I've started on it, but I haven't worked on it anymore yet, so need to work on that. Got several projects and things going on right now, but I need to work on that some more. These are my pages I'm getting ready to list in my shop, and I'm going to experiment with the rainbow colors and see how those come out. And so I want to do a bunch of these too, because I want to have some for me to use and some for my shop. And so that's it for today. I have some other projects to share with you, but I'll be back during the week and try to share with you during each of my videos, you know, what's going on. So I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome weekend and happy crafting.